It's 2020.
Yes.
We gotta educate the people.
I guess so.
Okay. Hi everybody, welcome back to another episode of Two Gay Matts. It's Matt Steele.
It's Matt Palmer.
And this is gonna be our shortest video ever.
Oh!
Because we are listing all the good things that happened in 2020.
You know what? It may have been a rough year. But there was some good content to be consumed from our home. From the little box we live in.
Yes, and even January and February slapped.
It's great.
Yeah.
Do you think I remember those months? Those months 12 years ago? There were certain things that kept us alive, kept us going, kept our engines running throughout this year. Well, I'll just say year. Let's just keep it nice. It was a year.
It was a year.
It was a year. That's not a lie.
It felt like a tenth of a year and also 10 years.
It did. It did. I mean, if you were to list what we did, it would list like a tenth of a year, but how long it felt? 10 years.
It was so crazy because we were on a Zoom game thing with our friend Janie, and she had a game that was like, name all the dates where like such and such news scandal happened.
Yes.
And you know I'm great with dates.
You love a date.
I'm amazing with dates. And she was just like, what date did, I don't know, something that happened in 2020?
What did Tom Hanks announce that he had COVID?
What date did that happen? And I was just like, don't know.
Don't know.
Well, I know that was definitely March,
Yeah.
obviously, but like different dates where other
There
things
were
happened.
some I was months off.
Oh my,
I was like
months off. Where
July?
I was like August.
And it was no 4 months prior because it's again, what is time in this year? No
Yeah.
one knows. We're all making it through, but we do know the year is ending.
Yes.
We're wrapping it up. And I think it's good to look back on the positive. It's good to look back on the good parts of the year. And that's what we are doing today. So I have a couple of categories for mine, like a little organization. But if you'd like to give it a start on some things that you liked or made you happy this year, give it a go. Tell the people.
I'm gonna start on some pre-COVID events.
Okay.
Those Oscars.
Were they good?
Oh my God. Well, okay, we couldn't have an Oscars reaction video because you were in Sweden or wherever.
I was on a workshop. I went to London and then Dublin.
It wasn't Sweden?
No, Sweden was the year prior.
I don't remember. He was out of town.
Yes.
And I watched the Oscars, and I was gonna do a reaction video by myself,
Yeah.
but like me trying to like host an entire show by myself, it's
You
a
could
disaster.
do it. I believe you could. I did that. Miley and whoever else did a collaboration. It wasn't good, but I did it by myself.
Yeah, but you're better at that.
You could do it.
I was not great. I tried it for 10 minutes and I was like, no. Anyway, the Oscars, that ending where just Parasite just cleaned up was just such a beautiful moment. All throughout award season, you saw the excitement about Parasite. Like, this movie has gotten the best reviews of the year. This could be the first foreign language film to ever win Best Picture. And when the ensemble came out at the SAG Awards and the entire audience gave them a standing ovation, I was just like, this could win Best Picture. This could happen.
What a great movie.
I know, and then it won Best Ensemble, and then at the Oscars, it was obviously gonna win Best Foreign Language Film. It stood a good chance of winning Screenplay, but then when it won Best Director, I was like, holy fucking shit.
I love it.
This is going to win Best Picture. And it did, and what a lovely moment. Just the speeches, everyone in that theater was so excited for them. I think it was just such a wonderful, warm-hearted moment.
I'm trying to think, did we watch that together this year? Or was that end of last year we watched Parasite?
No, we didn't watch Parasite together.
Did we not? I felt like, was I just with Jackson? I was watching it here.
You were with Jackson. No, I saw it in theaters. Back when movie theaters.
Got it. Well, yeah, I was
existed.
watching a screener here, and I was blown away. What a great film. Like, if there's a film that is worth Best Picture, that is the one. Well, I have mine broken down. You know, I like to be very organized. I have a little bit Best of 2020 in the first category in the Matt Palmer Awards. Best Scripted TV Show, and there's a tie.
All right.
2 shows, both on HBO. Insecure. Insecure's 4th season focused heavily on Issa and Molly's friendship and the dissolution of that friendship. They were definitely at odds for a lot of the season, and it was so real and so exactly what like a friendship breakdown feels like. And much like my favorite seasons of the New York Housewives, when Bethany falls out with Jill and when Bethany falls out with Carol, it tears you up inside. Everyone's right, but everyone's wrong. The thing about Insecure is, of course, there are men that come in and out, like Jay Ellis and Lisa have their moments, but it's truly about their friendship. At the core of it, it's the love story between two wonderful friends who like are very different but love each other, and they just felt like they were growing apart this year, and it was really tough, but it was really well written. I think it was my favorite season of the show.
Okay.
It is excellent and so well done. And then after Insecure went off, Michaela Cole's show, I May Destroy You, premiered, and it is not light or fun. It is very intense, but just so brilliantly written, and I love that it is from just like straight from her mind. Like, it's not like there's a writer's room on the show. This is Michaela Cole just like expressing her experience. It's done in such creative ways, and all the episodes feel like their own moments, but obviously it's within a series that belongs all together. If you are going to jump into it, it is about a sexual assault and trying to figure out who assaulted her character in the first episode of the series. The season finale is just like otherworldly. Like, you watch it and you're just like, I need to watch that so many times. It just will blow your freaking mind. I thought so much was so well done on that show. The performances, the writing. And you know, I'm not a drama person. I don't love a drama.
You don't.
But this one, I was hooked. I was devastated, but I was hooked.
Okay.
So,
thank you, HBO.
to Michaela Cole, Issa Rae, and all the Issa Rae writers, because you did good.
Giving us hours and hours to binge.
Yes!
Because we had hours and hours.
Hey, we had time.
I guess we can switch to politics.
Oh, girl, I don't have one good. I mean, I have one good moment for politics, but
Joe Biden won, and he's going to be the next president of the United States, and Kamala Harris is going to be the next vice president of the United States, and it's the most exciting thing ever because holy shit, I've been devastated for 4 years.
We all have. That's
We did it. But I'm just going to give another highlight, another pre-COVID moment back when the primaries were happening. Just one day of television that was really fun.
Okay.
When Elizabeth Warren single-handedly destroyed Michael Bloomberg's entire campaign.
She really did. She just came in and blew him the fuck up. And it's like, for a while there, it was like, is this person gaining enough momentum? Like, this is going to be a problem? Because we cannot have another person buying their way into the White House.
Yes.
And she blew it all up for us, and it's like, thank you.
Oh, man.
Thank you so much.
Her entire primary season, she was just like, you know what? I'm going to give ideas. I get ideas. I'm going to listen to everyone's ideas. It was great. But you know what we're not going to do? She's like, all these people I'm on stage with have really put in the work.
Yes.
And I will say, after Michael Bloomberg dropped out, as he should have, he put his money where his mouth is, and he gave a lot of money, which then of course led to a wonderful victory. So it's like, okay, thank you, Michael Bloomberg. Thank you. Goodbye.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it. But that was like one of my favorite political moments of this election of 2020. Not my absolute favorite, but my absolute favorite happened in 2019. And that was the Amy Klobuchar eating a salad with a comb.
I can't believe you love that so much.
I love that story so much because it's so funny.
It's insane.
It's insane. I love it.
Best reality television show, I just have 2 Housewives franchises that I want to point out and highlight. The Real Housewives of Potomac, like there was a stretch there on the podcast where every Giving You Moments or every week I just had to get out my feelings on The Real Housewives of Potomac. Obviously, this was the season in which Monique and Candace had their altercation. The build up to the altercation was tough to watch because it was like, ooh, Monique, what are you doing? But then the altercation happened. Monique took a step back from the show and really, I felt, grew a lot, learned from her mistakes, and the other women never gave her a chance for the rest of the season. And the thing is, the reunion's kind of maddening because there's 4 of them versus Monique, and she has 2 allies in Karen, who is the funniest and best housewife currently on television, and Ashley. They are completely disregarding Monique's feelings. Monique's like, this is what triggered me, this is what happened. During that fight, Candace did this, and this. They're like, no, you're lying. And then the editors cut back to the fight and be like, oh, actually what Monique said is true. Oh, actually what Monique said is true. Or actually what Monique said is true! And it's like, I'm not one for violence, but you cannot say Candace is not a provoking person. Her time on the show has done some of the most vile things I've ever seen. She's a classist. I have a lot of feelings about it. But again, I'm invested. I love that Monique has a bird named T'Challa who she walks on a leash. I love that these women are legitimately funny and interesting. A lot of the housewives are so old at this point that they kind of know the game really well and are just playing it. But these guys, I feel like, are just at their peak. So if you haven't watched seasons 4 and 5 of Potomac, I suggest you do so. I'd also like to give us a quick shout out to a runner-up, The new Real Housewives of Salt Lake City is the most insane thing I've ever watched. Mary Cosby married her step-grandfather, and we just should have to talk about it. We should just have to talk about it.
I love that, and I can't wait for 2021 for that season to play out more.
I mean, yes, it's still on its way. There's a young gay son who has a talking head, which is nice, except the more we're learning about Brooks, it's kind of like, actually, I don't love you, but it's fine.
Another positive thing that happened this year was we've made a lot of True Gay Mats content.
It's true!
Holy hell,
true.
Boys and girls.
Yes. Their videos, their podcasts, we're all around.
Guys, we're everywhere. So, if you haven't seen us before, hello, there's a lot of stuff to consume.
Yes.
But because we made a lot of content, there have been a lot of album reviews, a lot of music consumption.
Yes.
This year in music was the best year of music since I have moved to LA. I think besides like 2013, I think was also a excellent year.
That was a good one.
So I would say 2013 and this year, 2020, I took a lot of walks this year.
And you had a good soundtrack for it.
And I had a good soundtrack. I had wonderful music playing in my ears as I was walking around the neighborhood looking at houses that I will never be able to afford. And so it's hard to rank my 2 favorite albums of the year. It's hard to rank my 1, so I'm gonna make it 2.
Okay.
It's gonna be a tie.
Yes.
The 2 best albums of the year, in my opinion, were The Chicks, Gaslighter.
Yes, underrated.
Oh my God. Like, let those divorcees sing their hearts out. And the new goddess of pop, Rina Sawayama's Sawayama.
Icon.
Just iconic from top to bottom. Every song is a smash. These 2 albums are so amazing, very, very different, but just check them both out. Even if you don't like country music, like, check out The Chicks. Like, every song I go back to on that album, I'm just like, damn, Texas Man. I loved Texas Man when I first heard it, but now I'm just like, oh, oh my God. The whole album is just about like women in their 40s, like finding life again and starting anew, and the hesitancy that you hear in Texas Man, while it's still a bop, is just, and oh God, my best friend's wedding.
Oh my gosh.
We'll talk about all of these songs in our, I guess, listening party where we like talk about our favorite songs of the year.
Yes, that's going to be coming soon, so keep an eye out.
So these are the top 2 albums of the year, guys. Get into it.
Those are also my top 2 albums of the year. I don't know if that's happened in a year, but I'd like to also talk about Dua Lipa and Chloe and Halle and just throw them into the mix as like the next tier of greatest music. And again, I'm just so happy we had such great music to bop to all year, because again, we did nothing but stay inside. So thank you, ladies, for keeping us alive. I'd like to talk about my favorite films of the year, and I have a tie. 2.
Okay.
My first one I recently talked about on the podcast. It is a movie called Uncle Frank, and it is an Amazon Prime film. It is devastating but heartwarming. It kind of feels like a play, even though it wasn't a play first, but it kind of gave me an August Osage County feel. It's about a gay man who is a teacher at NYU. This is in like the 70s, I believe. His niece goes to the school. They kind of pretend that he's straight, but he is not. So the niece comes to his house, realizes that he's gay, and they form a very close friendship. His dad dies, which forces Uncle Frank and the niece to come back to their southern town and revisit that family, and things ensue that are heartbreaking for a long time, but you know, you just wait to the end. It's a lovely film. It's intense. It's very dramatic, but it's affecting. Like, I don't think it's melodrama, it's just dramatic and intense, but beautiful and well made and well acted. Great job, Paul Bettany, who I believe played Uncle Frank. My second best film of the year is a film by the person to my right. It is entitled Devos. It is available now. We've talked about it, but I don't think we've given it its just due. Devos is a joy to watch. It is a joy to rewatch. It is a joy to watch Matt Steele light up every scene that he is in. It is now an award-winning film, lest we forget. Hello. And if you want to be as good as the critics who are acknowledging the brilliance of Matt Steele and his film, you are going to rent it or buy it on iTunes because it is currently on sale. All right, what else are you doing? You're probably not going home to your families because it's COVID. You're going to be at home, not at work. Rent Devos. Buy Devos. Promote Devos. Devos is it, and if you are sleeping on it, you're sleeping on all of us, and I'm not happy. All right?
I agree. Thank you so much for watching Two Gay Men. Well, I mean, I thank you so much, Matt.
I mean, it's just the truth.
What an angel he is. God, he has such good taste.
It's true. That's one thing about us. We have the tickets.
We agree on our favorite albums of the year and our favorite movies.
Yes!
Guys, my other obviously the big highlight of my year was I've been working on this movie Devos for 9+ years, and the fact that all this entire decade of work has finally happened, has finally been released. People can see it. It is just the most wonderful feeling. Just, you can ask him, the months leading up to it were very stressful.
It was a disaster.
In my room, editing the trailers, freaking out, and also, like, you know, watching COVID happen around me. It's been a very, very intense and weird year for me. I have learned a lot about work ethic.
And you got it, sweetie.
And trusting that you know what you're doing.
And you made something great. Do we have anything else we want to talk about as a highlight?
Do you?
I mean, the only things I want to say is I feel like I've shouted out a couple of these podcasts before, but other podcasts that I listen to and love. The Read has been getting me through for as long as they've been around. Everyone listens to The Read. I assume you do because, you know, you're a person with brains. Legend Only, which is the new podcast from Mew Muse and T. Kyle. They did a Britney podcast. I believe I shouted out a different year, but Legends Only is more pop culture all-encompassing. It is very good. A lot of, you know, pop music focus. So we love pop music here. Danny Pellegrino, our buddy. Everything iconic with Danny Pellegrino is so excellent and so fun, and he's just truly a kind person, and you can feel it through just the podcast. But like, even, you know, knowing him the little bit I do, it's just like, oh, he's nothing but like a light in the world, and I only want good things for him. And lastly, Midnight Snack with Michelle Collins is so fucking funny. Like, do you remember when she was a View host? Do you know who Michelle Collins is? She's so quick-witted and like one of the quickest comedians I've ever heard of. She should be hugely famous, and she has a SiriusXM show that is on every morning, but I don't have SiriusXM. So I'm glad that she came back out with another new podcast called Midnight Snack. It is, for whatever reason, a late night podcast, and that they release it at like 11 p.m. just because she thinks it's funny. So, and it comes out on Tuesday. Like, they split it up to 2 times a week. So the first half of the interview was on Tuesdays, then the second half was on Thursdays. I could listen to her talk about anything. Everyone should love her, so everyone give Michelle Collins a listen as well. Do you have any other things you want to shout out for the year?
It is so beautiful seeing people starting to get vaccinated.
Yes.
I watch all those videos and I'm just like, yes. Not just because I'm like super excited like for myself, but just watching the medical professionals, the nurses, the doctors who have been going through literal hell this entire year, watching them finally get vaccinated and seeing the relief like on their faces is just so wonderful to watch. It's like bravo to all the scientists out there, to all the first responders, to everyone who has been working their asses off to make sure that this is not even more of a disaster than it's already been. The fact that we have a vaccine so quickly is so unbelievable.
I know.
I am just so proud of them. It's just so wonderful. I am looking forward to great things in 2021.
Yes. Nowhere to go but up.
Nowhere to go.
And it's happening.
Even if it's just a little jump.
A little jump. I mean, January 20th. It'll be a little jump. That'll be the first jump of the year.
I'll be skipping.
Oh my God. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to follow us on at Matt Palmer Music.
And it's Matt Steele.
And at 2Gay Mats for both of us. Go to patreon.com/2gaymats for extra bonus content from us. Also, make sure to listen to our podcast, 2Gay Mats and 2Gay Mats, The Listening Party. And that second one's a Spotify exclusive. So look for it there. We want to thank Montana, Adam Parnell, Jesse, and who am I missing? Richard, our fucking iconic patrons. We love them so much. We love all of you. I hope your 2020 you made it through. It doesn't have to have been good or bad, because it was probably bad, but you made it through because you are strong, you are worthy, you're amazing, and next year's gonna be all of our years.
Yes.
So it's happening.
And you guys have helped us make it through.
Absolutely.
We love you. You guys are so wonderful, and we love you. Thank you so much for responding so much.
Unless you're a mean comment person.
Unless you're a mean comment
If you are one of those, then fuck you. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll be back soon with more 2Gay Mats.
Bye guys. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Should old acquaintance be forgot?
Just forget it, girl.